welcome to Talk of the Town. My name's Karen Bukes. I hope you had a wonderful week. I did. Very busy, getting ready to do our upstairs. Jeff Cohen is coming in, One Stop Painting, and he's going to make the upstairs just beautiful. So let's welcome our underwriters, and of course, one of our underwriters, Jeff Cohen, and no, I'm not getting it free. Brewster, PC Solutions with Wrestling Brewster, and he has a show right here on PAC TV. Very interesting. Attorneys, Trifletti and Costa on Long Pond Road. I love Stephen. Underwriters, David and Kevin Gallerani. I love them. Owners of Cape Auto and Cape Service right here in Plymouth. Location Samoset and Sandwich Streets. As I said, right here in Plymouth. Now, you know you can call us, 830-3971, and I'd really appreciate it tonight if you did. But right now, we're going to take out a couple of minutes because a dear, dear friend is here. And he's here to talk to you, give you some great information about the Plymouth Education Foundation. Please welcome one of my dear friends, Bob Betters. Hi, Bob. Thank you so much for coming in. And you know you can come here anytime because I happen to so respect the Education Foundation and what you do. It is a great thing that you do. But you tell us what's coming up.
Well, I'm happy to announce that the 4th annual Valentine Gala for the Plymouth Education Foundation, which is our primary fundraising event, is scheduled for Saturday, February 8th at Waverly Oaks Golf Club from 6 to 11 p.m. So I want to thank you for the opportunity to talk about the gala, and you've been very generous with your time and to the foundation, Karen. We greatly appreciate it.
Anything I can do, Ken and I so respect you, your board. They do such great work. Now, Kenny and I were able to come to one of those Valentine galas, and oh my goodness, I can't say enough about it. We were all dressed in our best. It was in a beautiful location, you know, the Waverly Oaks Golf Club. The food was fabulous. The people were great, and the venue. You raised a lot of money.
We did, and we've been lucky that it's sold out for the past 3 years, and we expect that it will sell out again this year. It really is a great night. It's live entertainment, it's dinner, it's dancing. There's a silent and live auction. Tickets are $75 per person or $550 for a table of 8. Reservations can be made right on the website, which is PlymouthEducationFoundation.org, or the telephone number for the Education Foundation. You can leave a message there, and we'll get back to you regarding tickets. That's 508-747-8212.
Right. We had such a wonderful time, and I will say, along with the movers and shakers of the town who were there were a lot of people just like, you know, Kenny and I that just wanted to contribute whatever we could, and was it the schools that came in and videotaped?
I believe at one of the first galas they did.
Yes.
Yeah.
And our good friend Jeff Cohen bought a whole table.
Yes. Yeah.
And it is just a wonderful function. But tell me, you have a very special award.
We do. Adele Manfredi, who I'm sure everyone in Plymouth knows, was one of the founding members of the Plymouth Education Foundation. When she passed away, we created the Adele Manfredi Excellence in Education Award. This is the 3rd year that we're honoring someone with that award. Obviously, Adele exemplified commitment to education and commitment to community. So we try to pick a person every year who who falls into that category and emphasizes and exemplifies those traits. This year, the recipient is going to be Dinah O'Brien, who's the director of the Plymouth Public Library.
Wonderful choice.
Yeah, and we all thought that was a great choice. It was a unanimous choice of the board. I spoke to her on Monday, and she was so surprised that that she should be honored. But she definitely deserves it. And two of the, I think, primary components of this country that make this country great are public libraries and public education. The two go hand in hand, and they both deal with educating folks. And I think I think her role in this community is a great one, and she should be honored.
Absolutely, I agree with that 100%. And Dinah O'Brien is very unassuming.
She is.
She does a lot of work quietly.
Mm-hmm.
And she's contributed a great deal to this community over the years.
The other thing, if I may, we've been very fortunate this year with a number of sponsorships, but our primary sponsor and the event sponsor is, again, this year, Rockland Trust Company.
Good.
So I really want to thank them for their continued support and being the major sponsor for this event again. So, thanks for the opportunity to be here. I hope that people, will purchase tickets, can always send in a donation, even independent of attending the gala. But again, reservations can be booked right on the website, PlymouthEducationFoundation.org. And the phone number again is 508-747-8212.
Bob, just a little bit. Tell everyone what the foundation does.
Well, the foundation was established to provide educational opportunities for students, for teachers, for programs that would not otherwise be funded by tax-based revenues. I mean, obviously, there's been a budget crunch that municipalities have experienced, particularly over the last 5, 6, 7 years, which makes, I think, our role much more pronounced and much more important. But what we try to do is to provide funding for situations that are important, but cannot otherwise be funded. Some of the grants, for example, that we've given this year, we've given out 2 scholarships. One, the Culinary Arts Scholarship to a culinary arts student from Plymouth South that Karen, you and Ken were most influential in terms of setting up and raising money for. There's an Abadi Scholarship. The Abadis were Adele Manfredi's parents, who Adele had given us money that her parents had left for scholarships. We've given a $1,000 scholarship every year that we've been in existence under the Abadi Scholarship name. A grant to Plymouth South Math for iPod technology, grant for purchasing of musical instruments. Those are just a couple of examples of the types of things that we do.
And anybody can give their monies.
Absolutely.
And it will be managed, and if they designate certain monies to a certain function, that's where it will go. That's
where it will go. You can, depending on obviously the size of the donation, we can put restrictions on it that can be used for specific purposes.
Yes.
But yes, you can donate money for specific uses or specific purposes.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now say again, when is the gala going to take place, Bob?
It's Saturday night, February 8th, from 6 to 11.
Yeah.
Waverly Oaks Golf Club.
Oh, I wish you the best, and please, people. If you can, please go. You won't regret it. It's a wonderful, wonderful venue, and you'll be helping your hometown. Thank you so much, Bob. You're welcome here anytime.
Thank you again, Karen. I appreciate the opportunity.
Give my best to your board.
I will.
Thank you. As I said, and Bob is unassuming himself. He's very shy. He does a lot for this town, and I thank him, as does his board. Now, we're going to get to the program, and my guest tonight also has a very fabulous venue coming up very soon. Next week, as a matter of fact, Tuesday, January 21st. And beautiful artifacts and other things, treasures, will be on display and for auction. And I like this guy very much and his business. Please welcome, from Plymouth's own JJ Auctioneers and Appraisers, Josh Rio.
Thank you very much, Karen. It's great to be here.
I'm so glad you agreed to come back. Last time Kenny interviewed you, now it's my turn.
I had a great time. He set the bar high, so let's see, right?
Yeah, let's see, let's see. But I'm really excited. Tell us, now you're right here in Plymouth.
Yes, I am. Yep.
And where are your auctions held?
We hold our auctions. We're very fortunate in that I have the world's greatest venue, which is Memorial Hall,
Yes.
in the Blue Room upstairs. You know, it's a great partnership with the town of Plymouth. The manager and staff of the building are just great for us. Patrick O'Brien, who runs the place.
I adore Patrick.
I know you.
And he's done a bang-up job.
He really has. In fact, I was there today, and they just redid the floors, so they look beautiful. And I'm nervous of bringing furniture in and marking them up. You know, so we're going to do our best to preserve them. But so yeah, we've been holding the auctions at Memorial Hall, and we absolutely love it.
Now the next auction is?
Next auction is Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. and that's in the Blue Room.
Upstairs.
Upstairs, you got it. And there is an elevator, so there's handicap access.
Yes.
We use it to move quite a few things as well, so thank goodness it's there. But preview of the sale will be noon to 6, so the public's welcome to drop by and you know,
it's free.
Absolutely, it's a free event.
Yes.
And we offer a bartending service in New England, serves beer and wine to our customers, and local chef named Steve Coe, very talented guy, comes in and does some light fare for sale. And it's just a wonderful evening, and I always figure, what else is going on a Tuesday night in January? So.
Well, I'll tell you what's going on. Kenny will be there.
Excellent.
But I have a meeting, and I know it's a brand new committee.
Okay.
And I have to be there. And so I'm so sorry to miss it. And as David Gallerani knows, meetings are tough for me. You know, the Lions Club, which does so many good things for this town. Do you know David Gallerani or Kevin Cape Otto?
I don't.
You've got to go. Well, I can't say go, but you've got to meet them.
Okay.
They're fabulous.
All right, I'll make it a point.
They're businessmen right here in Plymouth. But as I was saying, we're members of the Lions Club, and it's so difficult for me to get there for the meetings because I have town meetings all the time. But Kenny will be there at the auction.
All right.
And you know, I miss so much. So tell us. I mean, you even brought a few things.
I did.
And I love it. Show us.
Okay. Yeah, we brought a few interesting things. Thank you. I want to knock that over. And I guess to start off, since Ken's going to be there, you know, he has the opportunity to bid on something like this.
Oh, sure.
If you like it.
I love it.
It's a Victorian shell cameo necklace set in gold.
Look at this. Can we get
and
this?
I don't know if it'll represent very well. But beautiful piece. It was retailed in England. Probably 1880, 1890s.
Yeah.
And
there we go.
I'm not doing any justice yet.
That's all right. There you go. Now we're zeroing in.
Okay.
But
back out a little, honey. Oh, see that? And that's real gold?
Yep, it's a Victorian gold, which the English gold is a little bit better than 14 karat, and they're Italian hand-carved shell cameos set, and it's just a wonderful piece, and it's original fitted box, and I think it would look fantastic on you.
Oh,
so.
I'm sure you do.
I'm digging a hole for you, Ken.
I would love this, but it's a little rich for my blood.
Yeah, it's not something I think you know the ladies might wear every day, but for that special occasion.
Oh, see, I could never part with something like that. Oh.
Well, fortunately for me, they're all consigned from families and estates on the South Shore and as far away as northern New England, and that's where we find these things. Next, just to show you a little bit of the kind of the diversity, I sort of like to have something for everyone.
Yeah.
This is a late 19th century Russian icon. These were religious pieces used both in the Russian Orthodox churches And that's a nice picture. And also in homes. So this would be kind of your patron saint. This is Saint Seraphim. And just beautiful oil paint on muslin. And then they do these gorgeous, these metal. This is all hand chased, and it's brass with a silver and gold wash, but beautiful pieces. And we actually have 5 of them. Came from one collection, and they will be in the sale.
Oh, that is beautiful. My son would love that.
Well, it'll be on sale. You can bid on it, or can again.
No, he's been bidding on that.
Another piece, something really amazing. I see a lot of different things in my business, but more often than not, something comes through the door that I've never seen before, and this is part of a collection of repoussé silver bowls. It's solid silver, and these were made in northern Thailand, early 20th century, late 19th century, but beautiful designs of dragons. There's a lot going on here. All hand done, and a lot of them have Thai zodiac figures on them, but solid silver. If you feel that. Oh, I'm sorry, I just took it away.
It's okay. Go ahead.
But if you take a look, it's all hand done. Just beautiful, beautiful work. Elephants.
And that's solid silver.
Here, I want you to hold it. That's pretty heavy, huh?
Oh, my goodness. And you have a bunch of these.
I do. We have a collection of more than a dozen, all different designs.
Oh,
and
just beautiful.
They're just really pretty things. We like to kind of offer some real diversity in our sales because I just want to have something for everybody. And
it's resting on a rug saddle?
Yeah, this is a Tibetan saddle rug, and I'm going to try and move these so you can see it.
Yeah.
Beautifully hand done, and I'm not sure if it was used for horses exclusively. I know they have things called yaks. I think they ride in Tibet, and it's from sort of the Himalayan region, and we have a wonderful collection of these. We've got more than a dozen of these as well in the sale.
It's beautiful, and this too is heavy.
Yep, all hand done. It's all wool.
It's wool.
And just beautiful butterfly and floral design, and something that would look wonderful in anybody's home. A nice accent piece, and certainly usable even today.
Just beautiful. They kept it so nice.
They did.
Now there is two other things that you brought here.
Stevie, would you bring them over, Stevie?
Stevie's going to bring them over, and because in the spring there is something really big coming up.
Yes, thank you.
Can that maybe go on the table?
I could probably hold it up if that's all right.
Okay.
Okay, this is, we are having a militaria sale. It's going to be in late spring. The date's still to be announced, but it's a museum deaccession rather, primarily uniforms, and the uniforms date from the Revolutionary War all the way to World War II.
Wow.
And what we have right here is a Civil War Union Brigadier General's uniform. All original. He was a 2-star general, and it's just incredible to have something of this caliber still preserved. I mean, you could put this on today.
Come further up. Move closer.
There you go.
In the light, and further up.
And you can see the brass buttons are all eagle buttons, and you can tell the rank of the officer actually by the button configuration 2, 2, 2, and 2 on either side is a brigadier general. But the thing that interests me about things like this, Karen, is I look at it and I wonder, first of all, who the officer was that wore that, but did he see action at Gettysburg or Antietam or any of the great battles in the Civil War? So I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. What are the buttons made out of?
The buttons are brass and they're gilded with a gold gilt. So they're still bright and shiny as the day. They used to use a method called fire gilding with mercury, which they don't do anymore.
Oh, yes.
But it left a beautiful finish. And the buttons were made in Waterbury, Connecticut, where a lot of the ordnance and uniforms and things were made. A lot was made in Massachusetts, too, during the war.
So this is a big, huge military auction.
Correct.
And you have all the uniforms and guns?
Hundreds of uniforms, not so many guns.
Okay.
We've got a few early pieces, and I brought one along.
Yeah.
But a lot of uniforms and medals and things of that nature. Here is one example, though. Thank you very much. of something that is going to be in this sale, but it's along those lines. And this is a Civil War era model 1863 musket.
Put it right up
and
here.
This would be the kind of thing that your average Union soldier or infantryman would carry. And it's 58 caliber.
Yeah.
It's a rifled musket, so it was deadly accurate, and the bullet it threw, a mini ball, was just under an ounce. This way it might give you a good shot. So the way it works is the hammer's pulled back, a percussion cap is put there, and pull the trigger, and you've got accuracy out to about 500 yards with these babies.
And that's really heavy.
It is really heavy.
Oh my God, what does that weigh, 40 pounds?
Probably a little bit less, but I always think when you pick something like this up, imagine being a guy having to march 40 miles carrying something. I think it weighs in probably about 30 pounds. But it was made in Bridesburg, Pennsylvania. It was a contract musket, and yeah, this would be tough to lug around all day, wouldn't it?
The strap is still good.
Yeah, there's a little bit of it there, and it functions quite well. The hammer still double clicks. And
so you're going to have a few of these.
I will. In this coming sale on Tuesday, this will be offered for sale, as well as some other muskets. And want me to lay it down there? And these things, just the sheer length of them, you've got to be careful. So we do have some interesting firearms in this sale, but the military sale that's going to be in the spring is going to encompass everything from drums to uniforms to swords. I mean, you name it. So,
boy, if you got, God forbid, shot by that, I mean, that must have gone clear through you.
Well, these were actually designed, the mini ball, to expand, and what happened is, not to get too gory here, but they shattered bones often.
Oh, dear
so,
God.
in the old movies of the Civil War, you always see the guys losing limbs, and that's typically what happened. Field surgeons would amputate arms and legs. I don't mean to get too gory for the audience, but you asked.
Well, we have some Civil War buffs right here in Plymouth.
Okay.
Do you have any idea when that auction's going to be?
We're looking at the first or second week in April, and I'm just finalizing the venue.
Okay.
I'm hoping to have it at Memorial Hall, but there's a couple complications, not on their end, but it's likely going to be the first or second week in April.
Little hint, town meeting is the first Saturday in April.
Can't do it then.
So if you
Thank you. So it's going to be the second week in April.
So if you want a big crowd,
I don't want to compete with town meeting.
No.
Not at all.
But you also brought some photos, some wonderful photos
I
that
did.
Jimmy is going to so adeptly put up on the screen, and you can speak to them as they appear.
Sure. This is something that will be offered in our sale Tuesday evening. Quite rare. It's an 18th century vest made of silk, and it's all hand stitched, all those flowers and that floral design. The guy wearing this would have cut quite a figure, kind of been a bit of a dandy, I guess. I don't know, by today's standards, but Ken's putting his thumb up. I think he wants to try it on. I don't know. I think it would look good on him. This is a what's called the Japanese tansu. It's movable furniture, and this one dates from the Meiji period, which is early 20th century, but just a beautiful piece.
What is the wood?
The wood is usually yew. Sometimes it's bamboo. They're made out of several different. That one, I wish I could tell you definitively. I do have a catalog though somewhere.
It looks like bamboo.
This one, I don't think. I think this is yew wood, but we do have a bamboo piece. But it's beautiful, and it's a kitchen ton, so it would have been in someone's kitchen.
Now those the browner section that opens up. That's a
Yes, there's little shelves and little doors, and this would have been in your kitchen, and you can't see on the right side there's additional drawers with a pot to put hot items in, and so this would have kind of been your Hoosier of the day in Japan.
How tall is that?
It's about 6'5", probably about a little over 75, 76 inches.
And how old is it?
It dates from the early 20th century, late 19th century, which is the Meiji period in Japan.
Meiji.
Yep.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, wow. What's the size of that?
Yeah, this, I wish it was that big because it's solid silver, and it weighs almost 6 pounds, and it is a Hanukkah lantern, just a beautiful piece, and you know, it's inscribed in Hebrew, has the Lion of Judah you can see on the top, and it's just a great piece used for the Hanukkah celebration.
You know, my daughter Kimberly loves Jewish artifacts.
Oh, they're quite rare and very collectible.
Yeah.
This is another Russian icon. This is kind of the next level up from the one I showed you. It's actually sheet silver with gold wash, all hand done, and it's Russian enamel. This is quite rare, one of the kind of flagship pieces in our sale. We're pretty excited to see where it goes.
My goodness.
The size on that is roughly probably 8 by 10 inches.
Wow. Look at this magnificent piece.
I know, it's amazing what it actually is. If you look at it long enough, you may figure it out. It took me a little bit, to be honest. It's a clock.
What?
Yes, it's an Austrian guilloche enamel urn clock is what they call it. And see that band with the Roman numerals and the little hand?
Oh,
so yeah,
my goodness.
the mechanism actually works horizontally, and that band turns around and it tells time. They made them for a very short period of time, a few decades. That one dates from about 1900 and was made in Austria.
You know, I think I saw one now that you mention it on the Antiques Roadshow.
Okay, yeah, quite possible.
You know, and now that I look at it, it is a clock.
Yep.
Yeah. What is this?
Totally different direction. This is a Japanese hibachi. So it's a tea kettle set with a hearth crane. And the hibachi, the base part's actually made out of one solid tree trunk that was hollowed out. And this again dates from the Meiji period, which was 1868 to someone will correct me, I believe 1912. It could be a little earlier, which would be the Edo period, but just a wonderful piece. If you really want something in your living room, you know, to wow your guests, this might be it.
Oh.
Question on that piece.
Yes.
Is that a horseshoe at
Go
the
back, Jimmy, please.
It's shaped like a horseshoe, but it's a little base piece.
bottom? You see the inlay?
Yeah, and it's a stand that actually holds the tea kettle above the hot coals that would be heating it.
Oh, I see.
But it is, you could probably disconnect it and play a game of shoes with it.
Oh, jeez. Oh, wow.
Okay, Jimmy, thank you.
But an interesting piece. We love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. This piece right here is really something that's stunning, and it came in with our rug collection, with the collection of the saddle rug I showed you. This is a Tibetan pillow rug with imperial dragons, quite rare and collectible and just beautiful. And again, dates late 19th, early 20th century, but all hand done. And when you see something like this, the thing I find incredible is the amount of skill it took and the amount of time and labor that went into it.
That's right.
And it's just gorgeous.
And that's looks like to me a wool rug also.
It is a wool rug, and yeah, 2 dragons facing each other, and someone very important would have had this.
Yes, it looks it too, and I love the colors.
And we're kind of on the textile vein here. This is a Navajo sampler. It's called an eye dazzler, a very, very rare Native American rug. Pre-1930, they would make these out on the reservations out west, and when the trains would come, they'd sell them to people on the trains. So it was sort of a tourist piece, but all hand-loomed, traditional Navajo weaving. And this came out of a collection. We have 8 or 9 of them that came out of a lake house down in Rhode Island, of all things.
Really?
Yeah, the gentleman who bought them was a physician doing residency out in New Mexico in the 1920s. He collected them all, brought them back.
He had good taste.
Yes, he did. He bought some wonderful pieces.
That's beautiful. Oh my goodness.
And this,
Josh.
Ken told me he caught a bigger striper than this this summer. That's a 49-inch mount of a striped bass. It's just a neat piece. I love it. I'm an avid fisherman, and I dream about catching one that big. I haven't yet, but
my father was a great fisherman.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, he would have appreciated it. And this is another musket. This is Remington Zouave musket. And again, Civil War. This one was dated, I believe, 1863. And these weren't issued widely. They ended up in a place called Bannerman's Island in New York and were sold off to the public up into the 1920s and 30s. They had cases of these. So most of them you find are in remarkable condition. And, you know, the old joke is never fired, dropped twice.
Yes, and the wood looks like cherry. I don't know.
Usually the wood stocks, well, there's different things that they use, but it can be walnut, it can be ash. Usually the American guns
wood.
are walnut. Yeah, they're
very
walnut
hard.
stock.
Yep, beautiful.
And here's the bowl we showed you, and that's a great picture of it. And again, this is from Thailand, from northern Thailand, and they had been smithing and mining silver up there for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of history and pedigree behind this, and that's the face of a dragon, which is one of their zodiac signs. And
Beautiful piece, beautiful.
thank you. Yeah, we're very excited to have these to offer for sale to the public, and you know, they're remarkable items, and they all have a unique history, and I really enjoyed, you know, being able to play with them, so to speak, when we catalog and sell them off to the public. And here is a diamond men's fashion ring, which yeah, it's kind of I don't know, it's a little big for me, maybe mafia enforcer or Liberace kind of. It's very big diamonds,
It's
you know.
bling.
Yeah, it's bling. I'm not a music star, so I don't think I could put it on, but somebody could.
What is that?
It's
platinum and gold?
1.5 carat diamonds, and they're set in 14 carat white gold.
Oh,
and,
white gold.
Just a fantastic ring. I sent it out to a gem guy, you know, that does the certifications, and they were came back very good. G color VS1, which I'm told is what people like.
Oh, I'd love to know who wore that.
Tough to pull it off.
Yeah.
I couldn't, but somebody can.
Could you see Kenny at the planning board wearing that?
Yeah, maybe at the blackjack table down in Foxwoods. I don't know.
I don't think so.
You're not going to let him go.
No.
All right. This is kind of a neat piece. Again, just shows that we're really fortunate to get to
Diversified.
diverse things. Yeah, this is a 1930s binocular made by Zeiss, which is a famous German optics company.
Yes.
And this comes in the original case. It's just a beautiful piece and just a fine scientific instrument. I fought every urge I had to mess around with it and look at something, but I didn't want to risk damaging something like that. But a beautiful piece, and in the hands of someone that knows what they're doing, I think it's magnificent.
Oh my, what's that?
This is kind of interesting. This is a binnacle, which is a ship's compass. And the thing I love about it is it's Russian. And it was last certified for use in 1989, which was right before the Soviet Union packed it in.
Yes.
And it's still marked CCCP. Yeah, just a great piece. So you can imagine that, you know, Russian Navy, what ship this was on, but this was telling them which way to steer that baby. So
You have some great stuff. Oh, look at that.
I'm so glad this came up, and I forgot I had sent this over. Really interesting, if you'll bear with me for a moment.
Sure, please.
This is a collection of double-sided paintings simply signed Thomas. We cannot find out who he is. He's a bit anonymous, but they were found in a Boston apartment on Beacon Street in the 1970s. The paintings all date from the late 1950s to the early 1960s, and one of his pieces is part of the Chase collection of art in New York.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only real pedigree we have behind it, but it's magnificent outsider art and really wild, kind of follows the events that were happening in the early 60s.
I love it.
That's a Russian female cosmonaut named Valentina who is represented in this painting. But, you know, sky's the limit for something like this. We're excited to have it, and it's really an important collection of early 60s outsider art.
I can tell. Stay on that for a minute, Jimmy, please. First of all, I love art, and I could tell the person that painted this was very happy.
I think so.
A happy person, and optimistic, and encompassing. And boy, if I had the money, I would buy that.
I think it's a wonderful piece, and I always love listening to some insight. Everybody looks at a painting and has a different emotional or a different reaction to it, and mine is similar to yours. When I saw this, I thought sky's the limit, kind of, if I had to put a title on it.
Just a beautiful, beautiful painting rendition. What is that?
Again, we're continuing the diversity. This is an African, it's called an oryx, and it's a mount, a half mount, I guess, what you'd call it, but an interesting creature. This came out of a collection of taxidermy we have. The gentleman was a big game hunter all over the world, and I got a few pieces. This is one of them. I've kind of made him the mascot around the office for the last month or so, so I'm a bit mixed in watching him go, but I'm hoping he goes to a good home.
Yes.
And
oh my goodness.
I know you like this piece, don't you?
Well, see, that's opal is my stone, aside from diamonds.
Okay, well, you get them both here.
Yeah.
So this piece, beautiful Australian opals. It's a Victorian piece, turn of the century, late Victorian, but two massive opals and surrounded by roughly 4 carats total of diamonds.
Oy.
And it's just a real show-stopping piece.
That's about 20,000.
I hope so.
Yeah, I am telling you.
That would be wonderful. I just love getting pieces like this because, again, we want something that appeals to everybody, and I just think it's magnificent.
Well,
so we'll see how it does.
Yeah, the opals are just translucent.
Yep.
They're just beautiful.
And this is a wonderful late 19th century painting on oil on canvas. And it's some Dutch naval ships out on the high seas. And the thing I love about this is the artist really captured motion. If you look at how the ship is bent to the wind, I mean, I look at it and you see a howling gale out there, and the flags are straight out, and it just, I love maritime paintings, and I think this is going to find a beautiful home somewhere and really be the highlight to a room, and I have high expectations for this work.
That is a Dutch, Jimmy, could you go back, please, hon? Thank you. That's a Dutch, and you can, of course, because of the flags.
Yeah, the Dutch flag at that period is reverse of the French. Instead of going horizontal or vertical, it's horizontal.
Yeah, not bad. Oh, and what was the frame? Do you know?
Nice gesso gilt frame, and the frame's a little bit later than the painting, but very nicely done. A lot of quality there. I just think the painting in general just well, we have high hopes for it, I guess is what I'd say.
Good.
Yeah.
What is that? I know what it is, but someone had that in their house?
It came out of a house, exactly. It's a piece that was guarding the front door in a very eclectic and interesting South Shore home. And it's a 1970s or 80s, it's not antique, Spanish-made suit of armor. I just think it's one of the neatest things, and we've had it in our window over the last month.
I saw
and it has been a showstopper. I laugh. I'll sit at my desk, and of course, people watch, out on the sidewalk, and if you saw how many people stop dead in their tracks when they see the knight in the window.
I know.
So it's been wonderful for us, and I think there's going to be a lot of interest in it. Worst case scenario, it would be a magnificent Halloween costume.
Well, the price, I would believe, would be reachable.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
On that item.
House in Plymouth needs one.
Exactly. Talk about a security system.
I asked you if I could wear that. You said not today.
Auction day, you're welcome to.
Auction day,
Yeah, you can try it on.
Is that the end of it? That's the end. Oh my goodness! And you have much more than what
we do. We have 200 and I think at last count 73 lots, and just I don't know if I can put this out there, but a great way to view everything in the sale is coming to preview noon to 6. But also on our website, we have a digital gallery with our catalog that you can check out every single item online with some really wonderful pictures that my staff's taken.
And you're also on Facebook. I mean, I see a lot of the things that you post, and today the bowls went up. And I said, oh, you know, and I sit there drooling because I love silver. I like silver better than gold.
Oh, well, this is
I just love the look of silver. You know, it pleases me. But do you ever buy, you see where there's a show on television where they buy, they go to a place where you store furniture, and they might get a chest, and they open the chest, and it's either a dud or a fabulous. Do you ever get things like that?
I don't do the storage auctions, which have really become quite popular. But I do have guys that we refer to as pickers in the business that, you know, buy storage lockers, and they give me a call if they have something that they think would be a good fit for the auction. So I do see a lot of the things that come out of storage lockers come through my doors, and some magnificent things have come that way. It looks like a lot of fun, though. Someday I want to go down and bid on something. You know?
It looks like it would take a lot of time. You have to have the personality for it. I'm too impatient, and if it's a dud, I would have to kill somebody. So
then it's not going to be for you.
It's not for me.
I have a feeling 9 out of 10 of them are duds.
No, right. So, but have you ever gone into a home and they're going to show you something and you see something else that they have no idea what they have? Do you ever tell them what they have?
Absolutely. That's one of the most interesting things about what I do. I love going on house calls. I have been in some of the most interesting and finest houses on the South Shore and throughout Mass. And, you know, often I'll go, you know, I'll get a phone call. Oh, we have, you know, grandma's dresser, and they'll describe it to me. Sometimes send me some pictures via email, and or some silver, and I'll go out to the house, and indeed it's what they described to me. But yeah, I'll look over in the corner of the room, and I'll see a magnificent, you know, jardiniere that they didn't really even know what they were going to do with. And I love telling people, you know, that hidden treasure is what's really, you know, they need to get excited about.
Because people, Josh, they don't understand what they have. My sister goes to her transfer station, and it's actually a dump down there in Bourne. And they have a shack there that swappables, or Betty's shack, and people bring things in. They have no idea what they're throwing away.
You're absolutely right. There's some magnificent scores that come out of dumps, and I actually know a guy at the Plymouth the Bourne transfer station that found a set of Minton oyster plates, 19th century oyster plates, and you know, a couple $1,000s worth that somebody had just thrown on a table there. So.
Unbelievable. And that little shack is busy all the time because people have become aware.
You got to be the first one there. I'm sure there's people lined up as the sun's coming up. You know, the early bird gets the worm in this business.
Yeah, so. Once in a while, our guys who work very hard at the transfer stations will put something up, but it's not like anything what Bourne does, you know. So I mean, so it's all very interesting. I think the mystery of it. And you didn't start out this way. You had no intention of doing what you're doing now. You started out for something else. Yeah,
you know, just a brief kind of the way it happened to me. I was always a collector and always interested in old things. My grandfather went to sea for a living. It was a World War II veteran, as his generation was, and he brought interesting things back from all over the world when I was a little kid. So I always sort of, I don't know, got the itch for things like that and was always interested. And so I was always a collector of things I just enjoyed. But I was a sales rep in the medical industry, and I traveled all over New England, a lot of the back roads and, you know, places like Lewiston, Maine. Or,
that's a great job,
you know,
by the way.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I worked for a great company. But I had a lot of time on the road. So I'd end up in a town where I didn't know anybody and didn't want to sit at the hotel bar, and I'd look in the paper and see there was an auction that night, and I'd run down, and that's what kind of got me in the business. And I did that for years, and then one day I sort of came to the conclusion that, I bet I could do that.
I bet I could do that.
Yeah. I vastly underestimated the amount of work that goes into it. It always looks easy when you see it being done, but it's a joy. I love it, and so I changed my career completely. I am a full-time auctioneer, and it is just one of the most rewarding and one of the most interesting jobs I've ever done. So. Well,
this Saturday we're going down to the auction house in Sandwich.
Great place.
With our grandson, who Kenny put the bug in him to collect coins.
Oh, okay, sure.
So Kenny has taught Tommy what's what, and so we're all going, and they, he's just so excited. And that's a nice auction place to go.
It's a wonderful place. They've been there for a long time, and Duncan, who's the auctioneer down there, is just really good at what he does.
Good,
and they're wonderful people. I've actually been a customer there for years. So
I know. I bought 4 chairs there, Josh. Fell in love with them, brought them home, and they didn't fit in the house.
Oh, no.
They didn't fit around. They were so big and whatever. I don't know what the heck I was talking about, thinking at the time.
It happens.
It happens. I mean,
you get caught up in the moment. That's why it works, Karen.
You fall in love with something and you say, I have to have it. Meantime, your husband's looking at you like you're batty.
Nah.
But he, I wish he had, pushed me out the door, but he didn't. Oh, let her do it. The one time he didn't do something.
No, that's great though. He let you go with it.
Yeah, he did.
Oftentimes I do look out there, and I'll see a husband and wife, and one of them's interested in bidding, and they're looking to the other one for permission.
Yeah.
And sometimes I got to call it out. I'm like, don't look at him. Just raise your hand, and
just
she
raise
will.
And I did. And my son-in-law was standing behind me. He goes, "Go, Ma, go."
Very good.
So it was, but
are you sure you can't make it Tuesday night? You sound like a perfect customer.
I know. They'll kill me if I don't show up. No,
I'm just kidding.
It's a brand new committee. I have to show up. So I fought for this committee.
Oh, okay.
I have to.
Well, you better be there then.
Yeah. Now, as I said, because this goes to a lot of towns, Josh, but you're based here in Plymouth.
I am.
And are you there 7 days a week, or somebody there?
Our office hours are 5 days a week. We're there roughly 8:30 to about 6 o'clock at night.
Wow.
But what I do a lot of times, Karen, is I'm on the road. People do bring me things, but I do 5 to 10 house calls a week, and a lot of times, regular business hours, big surprise, people have jobs. So I'm willing to make arrangements in the evenings. I've done calls as late as 8 or 9 at night, and on the weekends, providing I have enough leeway and can schedule and get my bride's permission. I can go out on a Saturday or Sunday and do calls as well.
Do you know what my sister does and my brother-in-law? I guess there's estate sales in the house where, but boy, do you have to get up early, 5 a.m.
Oh yeah.
And the people that do it, it's somebody down on the Cape. And they do it, and they go, and everything is laid out, and perfect organization.
Oh, sure.
Unbelievable. I can't imagine what it takes to tag all this stuff.
Oh, yeah. Log
it. You have to have impeccable records.
Everything has to be recorded and documented, and for our business, when we catalog a sale, we have in this sale again roughly 270 items. Everything must be photographed in detail, not just one picture. There's usually 5 or 6 images of each item. It has to be measured, weighed, described, researched. It is a tremendous amount of work. I am very fortunate. I've got a great staff. I've got a full-time manager, Kimberly, who just does a magnificent job. And my crew, they do a lot of this work. I'm out running around, chasing this stuff. Yeah, but they do just a remarkable job. But it is a lot of work. And the estate sales, returning to that, it's a slightly different business, but really hardworking people, and they're a lot of fun. I'd recommend for you to go out and experience one. But
She
you're right.
wants me to.
You got to be there early in the morning.
I'd have to stay over my sister's house. I mean, she's there by 5:30 in the morning.
Yep, and you got to be tough. People will. It's like a hockey game. They'll hip check you to get into that room and grab that piece. So.
And she has been shoved against a wall.
It happens. It's very competitive, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
You know why? Because they list everything before, so people know.
So they're running around trying to find it.
Trying to find it. Oh my goodness! But you made a great partnership with Patrick O'Brien in Memorial Hall.
Oh, I'm so fortunate. And, I'll say, being able to use that room and to partner with the town of Plymouth and to work with Patrick, who, just really has bent over backwards to accommodate us. And it's not easy what we do. I mean, I had to approach him and say, Pat, we're going to, bring in all this furniture, set up all the tables, do all these things, and basically set up the circus, have it the circus going for a day and then take it all down again. So we're not your average, use for the hall, but he's been wonderful. And, the facility is fantastic. It fits what we do perfectly. And again, I'm a little bit worried about marking up the new floors they just had done. So I'm going to have to be on my best behavior on Tuesday. So
Sure, I'm sure it'll be great. I was interviewing Patrick here on the show, and he leaned over before the show started. He goes, who you should have on? And he said, J. James, Auctioneers, and you had just come to town.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And he couldn't say enough good about you. And
we have a lot of fun over there, and Patrick's a fun-loving guy, and it's a great venue, and it's been a wonderful partnership. It really has.
So you're going to do things there throughout the year.
I'd like to, if they'll have us.
Yeah, they will.
I'll do it as long as I can.
Absolutely.
I could not find a better venue on the South Shore, to be honest with you,
Yeah, you
for
were
what we do.
driving by, backed up, and went in. Mm-hmm. I think that was the story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They said, we knew that there was the main room. I thought that was a little big for what I do, and discovered the blue room upstairs, and it was the perfect size, and it's just a gorgeous space. So.
And for you to have a top-notch chef there and doing hors d'oeuvres and serving beer and wine, and it's free. Not the beer.
The beer and wine and the food isn't free, but everything else is.
Everything. I mean, you can go and look and watch. You don't have to do anything.
Not at all. You don't even have to get a bid card. We love it when you do. But it's a great night out. It's a lot of fun. It's something different that a lot of people haven't experienced. We make a night of it. I want people to have a good time. You can have a glass of wine, have a bite to eat. And again, it's Tuesday night in January. We're not competing with too much. So.
Not too much. Well, the selectmen's meeting. But
that's it.
Yes, you have a question. Well, you come.
Gosh, you say that you'd like people to get a bid card. What's the process of getting a bid card, and is there a penalty if they don't use the bid card after they have gotten it from you?
That is a great question. All they have to do to get a bid card is register, produce a license. We hand them a bid card just so we can correlate who they are with what their card number is when they hopefully are successful and win one of the items. If they never use it, there's absolutely no penalty, and they could even take it home with them as a souvenir, although we do usually collect them at the end of the night if we can. But it really is one of those things that it could be a free night out. You can have a ball, or you can show up and spend your mortgage money, which we like too. But
oh, please don't say that.
But no, it's a great night out, and it is cost free, and you can just it's amazing. A lot of people from Plymouth are there. A lot of dealers from all over New England. We have people coming from New York, from Ohio. So we cast a wide net, but it's a lot of local people. If you come out, you're definitely going to see people you know.
And they can be phone bids.
Absolutely. We do phone bids, and we do left bids, meaning you can come in during the day during preview, say you love something and can't attend it, you can leave the maximum number that you're willing to pay.
Oh.
I start at half of that, and then bid on your behalf against the floor or the phones. We also have internet bidding. People bid from all over the world, and it's really allowed us to take any of these items and project them really globally. We ship things now to China, to Dubai, to Europe, you name it, all over the United States.
Wow.
And the technology allows, I'll explain it if I can. I have a staff member that's sitting in front of a laptop connected to the internet, and we use a third-party platform that somebody in Dubai can follow the auction as I'm bid calling, saying 50, $60, $70. It's appearing on their screen. She's typing it in.
That's how
and all they do is
happens.
hit a button that says bid, and they're the next person to bid.
Oh, wow.
So
that's fabulous.
it's amazing. Just the technology has really revolutionized the business, and
No kidding.
it's great for the consigners. It used to be, your crowd was kind of the limit, the people that showed up.
Phone.
Yeah, or the phone.
Yeah.
But now, you can put something up for auction and have somebody, in England bidding on it.
my
So it's been
goodness.
great for people consigning things to the auction.
I think that's wonderful. I think that's wonderful. One of these times I'll go, maybe I'll just quit everything.
No, don't do that.
Except the Lions Club and maybe this, I'll even quit this and go to everything fun. Maybe I'll do that.
But for now, you can just phone bid.
We need a new host.
Yeah. I have a quick question. Have you ever found anything valuable hidden away that people didn't know was in that item?
That is a great question. I haven't, as an auctioneer, found that hidden thing. I did as a collector one time. I bought a World War I U.S. uniform. And I was taught a long time ago, always go through every pocket, every dresser drawer. And I actually found in the World War I uniform, he was obviously in France, whoever owned it, a 20-franc gold coin in the pocket, which was really
His lucky
amazing.
piece.
Yeah, and I actually still have it. I never sold it or
don't
anything.
ever.
I just thought it was the neatest thing to find.
Are we coming up on time? I so enjoyed this. You're welcome back here anytime.
Well, thank you very much.
Before any of your auctions, I think would be a good time to come. And I want everybody to know that your auction is next Tuesday, January 21st. At
6 p.m.
6 p.m., but you can go to Memorial Hall upstairs in the Blue Room and look at everything. And if you want to bid on something, just leave. They'll have all the information there. And go at night and have yourself a nice glass of wine and see how they do it. This would be great. Josh, thank you so much. That's J. James Auctioneers right here in Plymouth.
Thank you so much, Karen.
Oh, you're welcome. Now, next week, radio talk show host Don McCaig will be on. And Don, I'm sure will have plenty to say. That's okay. Stevie's going to love it. And I guess we're rolling. And I thank you so much for tuning in. See you in 7.